Good evening, thank you for watching. It is appreciated. Nigel Farage and Reform UK appear to have rejected Restore Britain's offer to work together, not merge, but to form a broad tent, a coalition of sorts to keep the left out of government at the next general election. That's what we're going to go through in this video, and it seems to be Nigel Farage is the rectal blockage the right needs to remove, metaphorically speaking, before we can get some real change in this United Kingdom, if you pardon the crude metaphor. So we're going to get into what Farage has actually said. He put this out a couple of hours ago, well, about 4 hours ago, and then we'll discuss at the end. The next general election will be an existential fight to save the country we love, a mission I've been now fighting for 30 years. After two national election victories as in many years, many people now recognise it will be a binary choice between Reform UK and Labour. I don't actually think that's accurate. If you look at the polls, there's three parties currently that are polling around 20 to 25%. That's the Labour Party, that's the Tories, for some reason they're still in double digits, and Reform UK. So no, I don't accept this a binary choice at this point. With this prospect of an early general election becoming increasingly likely, again, I don't think Burnham's going to pull the trigger on that. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think he's going to be that stupid. It is natural that people from across the political spectrum are considering which side of the fight they intend to be on. Patriotic voters believe in many of the same things, but the only party that truly has the possibility of delivering change, or one party even. To deliver that change, I understand Reform UK will need the support of people from other parties, as well as millions who have never voted before, and this broad coalition is what I'm building. No, you're not. You've been kicking out people that you disagree with, such as Rupert Lowe. Why did you kick him again? Oh yeah, it wasn't the false accusations that Zaid and Yusuf and yourself cooked up and reported them to the police over. You came clean in the conference, didn't you? It was the fact that he wanted to support the families of the grooming gang perpetrators that were complicit. So that is the culture in a particular community, the Pakistani Muslim community of this United Kingdom, that knew about it and did nothing to the community and the families of the perpetrators. He wanted them deported as well. And you thought that wasn't what decent people would do. And you were honest about that in a recent conference. So don't wax lyrical about building a broad coalition. You've been purging anybody from the party that's to the right of you. You like to be the brightest star on the right, and you like to gatekeep the discourse on the right as well. What was it you said about 20 years ago? What was it you said? You've done more to defeat the far right in the UK, the United Kingdom, than anybody else. So people like, I don't know, what's his name, Paul Golding, and the one who won the BNP. I think he was one of the first whistleblowers on the grooming gangs, and obviously Stephen Yaxley Lennon, otherwise known as Tommy Robinson. These people were persona non grata. They were far right bigots. They were pulling the alarm on what was happening to our country long before you jumped on that bandwagon. Maybe if you hadn't gatekept the right-wing discourse, we could have got justice decades ago for the people that were wronged by this heinous, heinous atrocity. Anyway, I digress. To deliver that change, I understand we'll need the support of all other parties. Yeah, I've already read that bit. I'm going to go on to the next bit now. Over the past 18 months, I have demonstrated that our movement will always be open to anyone who shares our commitment to restoring Britain's borders, rebuilding our economy, and renewing our democracy, and putting the British people first. Just don't mention demographic security. Whatever you do not raise the race issue because it's unpalatable, and Farage still wants to go to the dinner parties. My previous history in politics has also shown that I'm always prepared to put the country before party, as I did in 2019, but I will never turn my back on my team. Hang on. You did. You booted people from the party. Anyway. And what about the other people? What about the other people over the years? Wasn't that talk show host a UKIP at one point, Kilroy? What happened to him? What about Stephen Wolf? That was another one that you got rid of as well. Anyway, there is a listening, there's a laundry list, there's a pattern of behaviour. And if you noticed in this tweet, in this message that he's put out, he's not mentioned Rupert Lowe by name or Restore Britain by name. And they are polling quite high. They are polling quite high. And that is a voucher that Reform UK could deal with. So don't play the innocent. You're not the innocent. Let's have a look. There will always be a home in Reform UK for those who believe that 14 years of Conservative government, followed by the last 2 years of Labour, have failed the British people, and that our country needs a fundamentally different direction. I will continue to do what is necessary to defeat the left and provide Britain with the strong, serious leadership it deserves. This is the last chance for our country, and we cannot afford to waste it. All right. So he's been offered a lot and he's conceded nothing. That's what Farage thinks of Restore Britain and anybody that wants real change in the country. And if you notice, he didn't actually mention anything about the existential threat to the indigenous people of this United Kingdom, which is demographic replacement. And he didn't actually mention anything about Christian heritage either. I think he is committing to mass deportations after saying it was a political impossibility. Economic self-sufficiency, I'm pretty sure that Reform UK and Farage would be on top of that. And the restoration of faith in politics, well, that's 50-50. That's 50-50 with Farage, I would say. But I'll end this here. In my opinion, the response that Restore Britain wanted was not the response that they got. I don't know this personally, but that's my opinion. But also, Restore Britain cannot be ignored, because even though Restore Britain weren't name-dropped in the tweets, we've not been ignored, and Reform UK understand that they do need to build a broad coalition. It's just whether anyone to the right of Farage is allowed into that coalition is the question. Do you think it's a start that Farage has actually acknowledged the offer, or do you think he's doing it because of the political pressure from his grassroots and people in his party? Do you think this was unwise? Do you think Farage is incapable of being conciliatory and offering an apology to people that he's wronged in the past? This shouldn't be about egos. This should be about putting this United Kingdom first and actually giving people in this country something to hope for. We cannot hack another Labour government, in my view. Let me know, as always. All opinions are valid. I may be misreading the situation, but I think I'm being balanced and fair. I appreciate your time as always, and I'll see you in the next video.